Hey guys, pretty major announcement today. I have a website now. You can find it at www.thefoilist.tv. I built it myself pretty much from scratch using a Python framework called Django. I won't go too much into the technical details, but suffice it to say, this is why I've been so busy for the past several weeks. Now that it's up, I can focus more on making videos again. But for now, I'm just going to show you around the site a bit. Okay, so here we are at thefoilist.tv. There's two main databases on this site. They're linked together, so you can get to one from the other. But let's talk about the fencers database first. So right here I have a list of every fencer, almost every fencer. I haven't updated the database entirely just yet, but there will be every fencer that I've ever talked about in one of my videos. So as you can see, we have they're in alphabetical order. We have Abu al-Qassem here, some other names you might recognize, but we can search for them. There's a lot of parameters here. Let's say I only want to look for male left-handed fencers, and we can sort them. And here's the 15 lefty men who I have talked about in my videos. We can also look at, say, righty women, and do the same thing here. We can look for their country code. That's the three-letter code on the LeMay. So for example, USA or Italy, just as an example. Now let's say I'm a huge fan of Giorgio Avola, so I can click on him, and there's some information about him. There's a link to his FIE page, which is right here, if it will load. There it is. And a list of all the bouts of his that I've commentated. So for example, we could look at Peter Jopek versus Giorgio Avola from Rio. That's a bout that I've commentated. So here on this bout page, and we'll get to this also in a bit, we have the commentary video from Google Drive formerly. It's now on this site, and a link to the YouTube video of the analysis. And you can play both of those right here, or of course go to the YouTube video itself. Awesome. So second, we have the database of bouts itself, and this is also very searchable. You can search for them via the year they took place, the type of tournament they're from, of course the gender of the event, and whether or not it's individual or team. I have not done any team events yet, but I foresee doing some maybe in the future, so I included that option, and also the round of the tournament that it took place in. So, for example, we can go to the Olympics and look for only a round of 8 bouts. I haven't done any of these yet, but they are in the database. So, it returns these 4 bouts here. We can also, let's say we want to see women's foil events that took place in, I don't know, let's say 2017. We can search for those, and here's one of them. We can also search for a fencer's last name. So let's say I really want to see a bout of Yuki Ota. We can put his name in here and search. And of course, here's the legendary upset between him and Guilherme Toldo from Rio. And of course, we can click that and it takes us directly to this page for the details of the bout. There's also the suggestions tab right here. Now, I'm not sure if this works. I haven't really tested it fully yet, but if you have an account and you want to, you can use this to suggest a video for me to commentate in the future. If you want to do this instead of Discord, feel free. Now, doing this requires that you make an account, so there's a couple ways to do it. I recommend that you sign up with Google just for security reasons, but if you want to, you can also create an account this way. I'm going to sign in with Google, so we just click this button. And if you put in your Google account information, it'll remember that automatically. Everything's secure, as you see here. We've got a nice SSL certificate, so it should be safe. And once you have signed in, you can go to account settings here. You can change, oh, I'm going to have to blur out my personal Gmail account right here. But we can change our username, type in a new one right here. So as you can see, I've changed mine to _foilist because that is the name I go by on the internet. You can change your email address and your password. If you want to delete your account, as you can see here, there's not a link to do it. Just talk to me directly. I want to make sure that nothing happens accidentally that is irretrievable. So simply email me at this address and we can take care of that. And finally, there's this about page right here, which just has some information about the site and a little bit of how I built it. So yeah, a few notes to wrap this up. First of all, I'm not a web developer. Actually, I guess I technically am now, but I have no other experience with this sort of thing, particularly with web security. So if you want to try to break or hack into the site, I probably can't stop you. I guess if you manage it, then you're a huge nerd. And of course, we analyze fencing on this channel and we hate nerds here. But in all seriousness, the safest way to use the site is to sign in with Google rather than creating your own account, and I encourage people to do that for my own peace of mind if nothing else. Okay, second, keeping the website up and running costs about $12.50 a month, possibly more depending on how much traffic I get. I can support that no problem for at least the next year or two, but I'm also going to start looking into possible ways to offset that cost in the kind of near future just to be safe. Third, I know there are a lot of things I can improve about the site, particularly regarding the front-end design. That was probably the thing I spent the least time on when I was developing it. As with pretty much everything else associated with this channel, I welcome any and all feedback and suggestions regarding the site. But just bear in mind that aside from keeping the website like existing and up and running, adding to and improving the site is going to have a pretty low priority compared to stuff relating to my videos themselves. Okay, that about does it. I hope you find the website a useful resource. I'm going to do the second semifinal from this year's Tauber World Cup tomorrow. I believe that's another Kiefer versus Derek Letsova bout. That should be cool. And then I'll do the final on Monday. So until then, stay sharp.